And welcome to this brief presentation where I just wanted to give you an overview of a piece of software that you might potentially use for the second assignment for TL3171. So I'm actually set up from home at the moment, obviously because of all the isolation guidelines which we're all having to follow, and I'm using my Mac, my home Mac computer. So I just wanted to maybe put a short video together for those of you that can access QuickTime Player to show you some of the possibilities with this piece of kit. First thing I've noticed, I've left the cursor in the middle, so I wished I'd pushed that to one side, but I'm not going to go back over and start again. This is going to be very informal. If I was doing this as a final assessment, which you'll be doing, I'd just ensure that I've got everything perfectly in place. And the first thing I would probably say as well is, the second thing I would say is that just be mindful of where you're positioned on the screen. So as I look at the camera now, it's central to the Mac. The actual screen is showing, as I look at it, I'm offset. So there's a danger, I suppose, and it's certainly becoming a habit for when I'm doing these things. I keep looking at myself on screen just to see how I'm projecting myself. So be mindful of that, because you want to probably be looking forward rather than keep staring at the side. That's not the end of the world if you've got some notes to the side which you're following. It's certainly not a major issue with everything else that we've got going on. So yeah, obviously we've had to make changes to the assessment, and I'm going to try and give you some ideas of how you might approach this in order to make your presentation look as professional as possible. So this is QuickTime Player. What I've done, I've recorded first of all an on-screen recording, and then I've captured a certain part of my screen, and then I've also done a movie recording through QuickTime Player, which then puts myself in the screen. So I'm going to show you this first of all, just how it would look, the sort of finished product. I would prefer it if behind me you couldn't see the back of my room. Maybe I've had a green screen, but that's just not possible. There is some software, I think you can do it through, what was I looking at the other day? I can't remember now. Movie Maker maybe, but some software you can try and edit the background and get rid of it, but it's really pixely, so you might as well just, it is what it is. Just use a camera, and maybe you're going to sit in a room with a blank background. That would probably look better than mine does, which is the spare bedroom at home. Which I use as an office. So yeah, just be mindful of that. Something to think about. So where was I? Yeah, so I've got on the left hand side of the screen my slides in PowerPoint. You might not want to use PowerPoint. You could use Microsoft Sway. It's entirely up to you. You just might want to use documents and bring them up, because I think if I just try this, I can also bring in documents. There you go. So you'll just get a bit of that at the moment, to make it smaller, because I've just captured part of my screen. So I could bring in a document there if I wanted to show that during the presentation. There's quite a lot I could do with this. I could open a web page. Let's say I wanted to show the web page of the organisation that I'm going to be working with. That's potentially something that I could do. Again, I probably would play about with the sizings before I started. That's perhaps what I've learned from this, just to make it a bit smoother. So if I drop them out now, and that one too, and bring them back in, yeah, the sizings are a lot better. So that's the team from earlier, so it's another one I need, which is that. Yeah, so I could obviously show the web page of the organisation there. So it's quite good really, because there's obviously quite a lot you can do with this. You don't have to embed everything into your PowerPoint slides or your Microsoft Sway or whatever it is that you decide to use. But obviously you can use a PowerPoint, and you can talk through the key sections through the recording. Now, I haven't tried the editing facility on this yet, but I would assume there's quite a decent editing facility that you could use as well to piece your presentation together and to get rid of any sections which you're not happy with. So this is how it would look. I've left my cursor in there again, so I need to try and just get used to moving that out. This is how it would look, and I'm going to show you how I've put this together. So I'm going to do a separate video in a second just to show you how I constructed this on my Mac, and it will be obviously of use to some of you who have got QuickTime Player on your hardware at home. Okay, so I'll come back with the second video in a second. I'll shut this down now, and then if you've got any questions, then I think it would be better if you drop them into Teams, so that everybody else can see the questions and obviously my responses, and then we can, well, then we're supporting one another, or you're supporting one another to produce the best professional presentation that you can. I'm fairly certain that for a lot of you this isn't anything new, and you'll probably have much better ways to present the information, but we are really keen on making sure that this is a professional presentation. It shouldn't just be something that you grab with your phone and you've done 15 minutes talking through that way. You need to spend a bit of time looking at the technology and putting something together that you can be proud of, but that represents you in a positive way, because we're really keen to not just support you, but obviously to recognise and acknowledge the work that you've been doing over the previous months, and that's, you know, typically acknowledged with the grade that you receive. So yeah, just give that some thought and spend a bit of time making sure you can put something together. Okay, I'll start on the second video straight away, and you can have a play about with that later on. Okay.